Here is a Taco Bell employee. Here's an employee, Denzel Skinner. And this comes from the Elijah Daniel Twitter feed. Here's Skinner. He's been working at Taco Bell for 8 years. Probably was a fairly early. I don't know if he ever took time off. Right? He's probably a necessary worker or something like that. And here he is working at his Taco Bell, which I'm sure has been his, well, I mean, he's been working there for 8 years. So it's basically been the way he's been paying his bills. And, watch this video.
You just fired me because I got a Black Lives Matter on. You just told me I had to go home because I got a
You weren't going to take it off.
I'm not. Because I'm standing up for what was right. I'm not taking it off. Tammy said we could wear whatever mask.
No, she did not. She said it had to be plain. You can't bring politics into the building.
Bro, I'm not bringing politics in. This is what I'm standing for. Like, how is this considered politics?
How is it not, Denzel?
I'm not taking it off.
Okay, well then there's nothing I can do for you. I'm just doing my job.
I'm doing mine too. And I'm standing up for my peoples too.
You don't get it.
You don't either.
No, I do get it.
No, you don't. Because if you did, this wouldn't be a problem.
It's not that it's a problem with me, Denzel. It's a company thing.
Man, I ain't trying to hear that.
You let somebody wear something that said something about white people on it?
Bro, if that's what they stand for, yes.
I'm not against for what you stand for either, but I have to do what the company says.
The idea that this is, well, I mean, is it political? I think it probably is political on some level. It's not partisan politics. And to the extent there's a political divide, it is between people who don't think that Black lives either. I don't think they would say, well, I don't think, but I don't agree with the proposition that Black lives don't matter. But then they must believe that we live in a society where Black lives are considered as valuable as white lives. And there is just, you have to be completely oblivious to our history and our present to believe that. I mean, it's just like, I don't know, pick a statistic. Pick a statistic. Look at what happens just look at the difference in the protests. You have to be willfully ignorant. And if it is a company policy, like, did the company did they get a complaint?
Yeah, I mean, I worked at McDonald's. Those things are all sort of owned, as far as I know, by like local business owners. So this is how the sort of management, right? How they chose to sort of kick it up the corporate line, or you could choose to have solidarity with the workers you're surrounded by. And she chose to say, you know what, it's a company thing.
Now, if I was a labor lawyer and I was going to go back to the National Labor Relations Board and say that their reversal of the McDonald's franchisee issue was illegitimate, I would bring that tape in. As you can see, corporate does have control over these employees.
Yep.
To the point where, as they're micromanaging, to the point what logo can be on their mask. Really nuts. Been working there for 8 years. We're going to fire this guy. Don't want to get involved in politics. You know what else is absolutely, the AMC, the movie chain, the movie theater chain. When they were asked, when they announced that they were going to reopen, and this is really stunning. Pull up this, it's in Variety, I think. Brendan, I think you can find it. AMC opening up. Where is it? Yeah, you pull it up. I want to talk about this. This is really sort of stunning. roll down into this. So AMC, it's the world's largest theater chain, is going to open up 600 venues. It's been closed for 4 months. It's going to operate in about 450 of those locations on July 15th. Expects to be fully operational by the time Disney's Mulan debuts on July 24th. I'm not going to take my kids into that. No effing way. So here it is. AMC CEO President Adam Aron, we didn't want to rush to reopen. There were some jurisdictions in some states, such as Georgia and Texas, that allowed people to reopen theaters in midway. We opted to remain closed so we could give the country time to get a better handle on coronavirus. Now, that assessment, would you guys say that's a political assessment? Or is that just like, you know what? We have some liability. We think that these things aren't that safe. Turns out Texas is I don't know what their rate of infection is increased to, but significantly. Would you guys say that's a political decision?
Yes.
That's politics in there. They don't want to close. Well, I think according to Ron, you would imagine, because he goes on to say, here it comes. AMC, no, scroll back up just a little bit. AMC will not mandate that all guests wear masks, although employees will be required to do so, nor will AMC perform temperature checks on customers, though it will monitor. The situation will be different in states that requires people to wear masks. But Iran said AMC was wary of wading into public health issue that has become politicized. We don't want to be drawn into a political controversy. The political controversy over wearing masks. We thought it might be counterproductive if we force mask wearing on those people who believe strongly that it's not necessary. Well, what? Then why did you close? You forced it on people when you wouldn't open, when Texas and Georgia said you could. I mean, this is just absurd. We're living in an era where a business is afraid of imposing basic hygiene. Well, why? What about the politics of why do I got to wear a shirt? Why can't I go in there barefoot? I mean, come on. What about all this political messaging that we're getting with employees must wash their hands? What is this, Russia? Are we Chi-Coms now? Employees got to wash their hands. This is absurd. And I mean, I think it's unfair because I think Nomi's going to win the pool on how many people are wearing masks tomorrow in Tulsa with 5%. She just parachuted in after I said 10%, thought that I was going to be the low end on this. But I think she's going to win. If I had known that she wasn't, that she was going to parachute in and give a number, I would have gone 4%. Because we have a president who's out there basically saying, the pressure is not to wear masks.
There's breaking news, though, Sam, now. AMC is now requiring people wear masks.
Boom.
This came out 20 minutes ago.
Well, good for them. AMC Theaters listens to its guests and scientific advisors and immediately reverses course. Yes, well, good job. Because I got news for you. I ain't going into a theater. I ain't going anywhere indoors in any circumstance without a mask.
Yeah. And maybe all the people that were advising doing the whole avoid politics thing, maybe you should demote those people and not use their services anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. Fire whoever came up with that idea. We don't want to promote politics. First of all, you're an idiot.